Hello and welcome back to another episode of GothamSound.tv. Gotham Sound, your one-stop shop for sound, communications, rentals, service, and all that stuff. I'm here with Ken from Film Devices. Ken, thanks for being here.
Hey, good to be here.
So you got here, you literally biked around the world to get here.
Well, we've been biking quite a bit in Europe and now in Manhattan, and we bring our little bikes with us, so we have bikes with us wherever we go.
All right, that is very cool. Do you, and sorry, this is a bit of a non sequitur because we are here to talk about the bags and do some kind of how-tos, but how many miles do you think you've biked in the last week while you've been traveling?
Well, last month.
Last month, okay.
Oh, I don't know, just maybe a few hundred miles. Not much. We're just kind of city bikers.
Not much. Okay, only a couple hundred miles. Perfect. Yeah. Very cool. Well, so thank you for being here. Thanks for traveling the world and wrapping it up in New York. You have an outline. I'll follow along, and if you just want to show us what you've got and what you want to share, we're ready to listen. Oh, and if you're watching live at home, you can leave questions in the comment. I will ask them to Ken, and if you're watching it not live, you can still leave your questions in the comments and we can forward them to Ken or answer them as best we can. So anyway, you go.
Okay, I will be looking at my notes, everybody, so and just so that you'll forewarn, I've got some here and I got them there. I got my notes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Okay, well, this is what you get when you buy one of these rack and bags, and this is a medium. And this is a standard height, and it can function as a typical sound bag where you can wear it on a harness or on a shoulder strap, which is included. Okay, we're done with that. I can get rid of that.
Okay, bye, shoulder strap.
It has a handle that's removable. I'm going to open up the screen. I'll take the protective front off first. Okay, typical.
That's kind of a splash guard, rain guard type thing.
Yeah, and then it has a detachable pouch. I'll open it up so you can look inside. And each pouch has, oops, wait, take this apart. It has several compartments to put your transmitters. Okay, and you can see that. There we go.
Great.
Okay, and then that is detachable. Okay.
So it's held on by
Velcro.
Some pretty heavy-duty Velcro on the side.
It's not going anywhere. So anyway, this is your detachable pouch. This one has 4 compartments in it. The small has 3 and the large has 5.
Great.
Okay, we got rid of that now. Okay, so now you can use it 2 different ways. You can use it inside I just call this the shell. And this is the highest, thickest ballistic nylon you can get. So it's really strong stuff.
Is it bulletproof?
Yeah, you just hold this right in front of you when you see a terrorist.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great. Okay, good to know.
Okay. All right. And it's got some straps back here for a small boom pole.
Okay.
Okay. Then this has a Velcro to hold it in the back, so it locks in. And it's got all your typical compartments on the side to open up so that you have access to your connections. All typical sound bag stuff. Now, when it starts, this is where it starts getting a little different. So this particular unit is built with the wing kit, which are these 2 little guys. And so we typically have this, and then what you can do here is stick a iPad on there. You can stick radios on there, and this gives you a console. So now it is no longer just an ordinary bag. So now you have some other features. Okay, and not only that, you can install, we're going to take it out of the bag in a moment. So getting it from being a typical bag, and it doesn't weigh any more than a standard bag. In fact, I just went outside and weighed one of your big ones out there.
Okay.
This was lighter.
Okay. All right. Great. And what's this part made out of?
This is carbon fiber.
Okay.
And aluminum. And these are C channels. Now, what happens with your typical bag is all your components are floating inside of compartments. Nothing is rigid.
Yeah.
Now, this holds all your components down to solid surfaces. So nothing is moving around. And we're going to get to other parts of it. First, I'm going to take the bag off. Typically, this converts from a typical bag to a console in about less than 30 seconds. I would say more like 15 seconds. We strip off the outer shell. Now, before we do that, I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and I'm going to show you that I shouldn't have undone that, but I'm going to hold it like that, and I'm going to kick the kickstand up. So now, even with it in the bag, you can still use it. So you don't have to take it out of the bag. Okay, and so now we're going to take it out of the bag. Okay. Oh, there's a surprise behind there. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. So we're going to go back to opening it up. So now you can have your iPad can stay on board. You may have to change radio, add the radios, but your iPad stays on board. All your other equipment is on board. And this is the handle, and with this little button here, you put your thumbnail in there. And I just got a patent on that, by the way.
Oh,
just for that one little,
congratulations.
little thing. So
that's a button.
So that, and it
You're
weighs
right.
nothing,
Let's
basically.
show a little close up on that. So this button.
You have to use a fingernail.
Fingernail.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just boop.
Yep.
It's a quick release. There you go. Neat.
Yeah. And then these ears, we call them ears, they slide up and down. So you can change your balance point. Plus, you got 3 positions for balance point.
How is that locked on? Like, how do the ears slide up and down?
Well,
Is there another
this
screwdriver?
This is all you need for the entire disassembly of the unit. Other than up here, there's a couple screws, but for everything else, a 2mm driver, hex driver, which is included. Comes with a little package, driver, some rubber bumpers, and some extra screws.
Okay, great.
Okay, and so now we have it out of the box, and we've got the handle removed, and we're going to turn it around, and I'm going to tighten these guys up because they got a little loose in shipping. And okay.
If you can't see, those are Betso bow ties hanging out on the back.
Okay, so now we're going to turn it around. So now oops, there's a little, yeah, there should be that. You can leave these in place inside the bag. So you don't have to take your Betsos off like you do in the conventional system. And typically, let's see, you can have these like that. I'm going to push the kickstand down just to demonstrate that a little bit better. So with one little quick release, your Betsos are in place, and you're in business.
And those are the standard arms that come with the Betso bow tie, right? So that's integrating into a block that's attached to your rack and bag. Is that right?
Now this little block here is a little option that we sell that fits the Betso mounts. It comes as a pair of them, and so that's one of our little add-ons. Okay, and in addition to that add-on, we have these. You may be a little close-up on that. This here.
I'm going to truck in. Get ready for a live truck.
And right there is a 1/4-20 mount. And now, let's see, and then over here is another one. Okay. This is a vertical one, and this is a horizontal one.
I see.
So you can position devices, little monitors, whatever you want to add on. And you can put this anywhere on the frame. Okay, and
quick question, can the Betso bow ties be used with the shell on it?
Yes, you can put the shell, they'll fold in, and then you can put this, we just took it out of the shell, and it had them in it. Yep. And I think what happened...
Can they stick out like they, like outside of the shell to be able to be used while you have the shell over it?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
You have to take the shell off to get these guys unfolded.
Got it. But if you wanted to use the shell, you could use the clamps that are also included with the bow ties.
Yeah. Now, typically, these are up a little higher. So I think Dan, our man. Dan the man from our assembly guy, put them a little bit low. Okay. But normally they're up. Well, I think we can show. We may. Well, not on this other one. We don't have them.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. Yep. Yeah. Okay. So now this is another little item. Okay, we have a telephone mount. So you just turn this like that, and then we have a receiver here, and this slides into the receiver. Anybody have a cell phone?
Only the one in my hand, which is doing some
Oh,
streaming.
Denise has got one.
Great. Here.
Look at that.
Take that.
Okay. And okay. And so now we can take any cell phone and you can use an app on it to look at your meters. And there it is. So now you have a app to look at that. Okay, is that visible?
Got it. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
So potentially you've got space for a monitor or an iPad here and space for your phone here. So you've got all of your connectivity options and streaming platforms should you choose.
Yeah, now we can configure it many different ways. Typically, people put the record and mixers on the bottom tier. We put the power distro on that, and then we call this our auxiliary shelf. That way you can put radios on it, whatever you need to do. Okay, and so let's see. Now, this tool can disassemble the entire thing. I think I've already said that.
Yep.
And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over. Oh, before I finish that, I'm going to get with these guys.
Okay. What are these?
These are a docking bracket to dock your rack and bag to a cart. And so over here, all our feet mount have a little groove in it. And this goes into that groove. Okay, and then you turn that knob, and with I think about one turn usually releases it. So one goes on one side like that, and this is the passive side. Okay, and so this is on your cart, and then when you're ready to undock it, you give it a couple of turns.
Just loosen
give it a
that
turn,
and you're ready to go.
It comes right off.
Okay, got it. So the sound cart's new groove.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Oh, I see why it didn't cut. It didn't go on because I had it upside down.
Aha.
Okay, there we go.
Well, that'll do it.
Okay, there you go. So now it can. So these little has little, a little, what do they call it? Well, I don't forget what they call it. So, but it connects together.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
okay. So taking that one apart, so taking that one off the table, and remove these.
So while we're in transition here, our good friend Almanax, hello Almanax, has a couple of questions, but the one that we have not covered thus far is about the how would you seal the bag, right? So it says with the high degree of modularity of the setup, how much does the weather affect the sealing of the bag? Are the zippers rain resistant?
No, they're not. The bag will handle light weather. It's not really designed to be in the pouring rain. And so I would more liken it to earlier versions of bags. Now, some of the newer bags have a little bit more robust sealing systems. I don't know who has anything in the front that really seals it well. I don't know if there's any bag that has that.
Yeah.
So I'm not certain that there'd be much difference between this and a typical bag that we see out there.
Yeah, I know that I always used to wear a Sackler poncho, which made me look like, I don't know, Darth Vader or something like that, which was really fun. But that, to me, is the most effective way, is to have a poncho that covers you and the bag. But certainly there are ways to wrap bags. VersaFlex makes a really great weatherproofing apparatus.
I was wondering if anybody made like a little cap with an umbrella on it. So you just put it on your head, and now you got the whole umbrella, and you can carry it with you everywhere.
I feel like I've seen that on a certain
You
clown
just
show.
got to watch out for wind, or you turn into the flying nun.
Exactly. Perfect. All right, so let's continue here. So this is a fully built version of that. Is this also a medium?
This is also a medium. It comes in small, medium, and large, and then we also have some for Aton, although Aton is kind of becoming history. So here's one that's a little bit more, and this has the, I'm going to take the arm off, or the handle off, okay? Just get that out of the way. Okay, and this one has the slide out.
Okay, so this has a slide-out shelf installed.
This is an option, and the way you pull it from the center, always pull it from the center. Okay, if you pull it sideways, you're going to have it's going to be hard on the track. and then have it all the way out, and make sure that it's all the way out and that it's loose before you drop it. Only one person just destroyed one of those, and that was at NAB.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay. Okay, and so with this one, you can put a Zaxcom, the 8-channel mixer.
The Aria.
The Aria.
Yep.
And this is the Zoom system.
Yeah, which they don't make the F control anymore.
They stopped making it,
yep.
which is actually a lot of people are sad about that.
Yep.
And so this gives you not only, now you're really building out a whole system. And so this shows one of those quarter 20 mounts with a monitor on it, which you can position anywhere. So if you need a little monitor, you got that. Same thing here. And what I want to go over is, let me go on, let me finish with the, actually let me go into the mounting. So how the actual recorder is mounted is with rubber standoffs. It comes with the kit. We send you about 12 of them.
Okay.
And these are the little rubber mounts. And you put them on the top and the bottom on all 4 corners of the unit. And then the shelves, the 2 tiers that they're in, is compressed. It doesn't need a lot of force, but you compress it, and that holds the recorder in. Not only that, it gives it an airspace on top and bottom for ventilation, especially sound devices. They get real hot.
Yeah.
So that we've never had any problem with anything overheating in this system. So
so let me. I'm just going to get a real close up on that so we can see what's going on in there. So we see.
You can see the space in there.
Yeah, there's space. So it's literally just held in by the rubber
compression.
And do you ever have any issues with things falling out or being loose or?
Well, it depends. Some people don't put it in tight enough, and so it will slide around.
Okay.
But if you make it tight enough, it doesn't go anywhere.
Got it. Okay.
So and it's also like a little, like push down. It's more like get the feel of it.
Yeah, I see.
And so I'm going to take this, close this guy. Okay. And I'm going to show you how the shelves move. Okay. I'm
going to guess that it has to do with this 2mm hex driver.
Yep.
All right.
And it's
2 millimeters hex. Okay.
And it's a nice little German driver. You don't want to use a cheap hex key on this. You'll strip things. So we send a little German hex key with it. So let's go with this. So we'll go with the top one here.
Okay.
So there's one driver there. I'm going to loosen it up. And now I'm going to show that it moves around.
I see. Okay.
Okay. And so now if I wanted to tighten that, I'm going to push that down a little bit, give it a little compression, and then tighten it.
And because it's carbon fiber, the shelf seems to have a little bit of give, which I guess is what you want to really make sure it's in there tight.
Okay, let me get in there. Okay.
Because I can see the shelf flexes.
It does flex.
Just the tiniest bit.
Yeah. And then on the front of it, we have these aluminum guards, kind of an edge guard. And it also rigidifies the shelves.
Got it.
And as well as this is got an aluminum guard on the front of this too, with the handle on the bottom.
Got it. Okay.
It has a little snap indent on the back, so you can.
So it's not going to fall out, but yeah, gotcha.
Okay, and so with this, so when you want to add, say you want to add some Betso mounts or whatever, then you would remove the top. So under here there are two set screws, one on top and one on bottom. So there's 8 of them all around.
Oh, and that really removes this railing.
It removes the top railing. Once the top railing is up, then you can slide things around. I'll demonstrate a little bit by loosening up the handle here, our handle ear.
And as you say, the important part about having that handle adjustable is that you can rebalance the bag. So if you've got something that is, that you want to have the handle further up, it'll make it more ergonomical for you and for your back, which is important.
Yeah, yeah. So for most, I find that almost every configuration we can find a balance point for it. So, so there's that. And now this shows how you can mount a receiver down on this deck here. If you want, you can lift one of these tiers up. We can typically, if you're using something like an SL2, you may want to get the extended length one, extended height. I'm sorry.
I see.
And so that gives you a little bit more height, and it gives you a little bit more room for the SL2 on top of it. And then there's lots of other ways you can configure it. You can, if you have an SL2, you probably don't need radios up here.
Yep.
So you could actually put the power distro up here, which gives you a lot of access. And speaking of distros,
Oh, wait, real quick, just because we were talking about, so this is attached by Velcro.
Velcro.
Yep.
It's just very simple.
And so is that the same with the distro and with the battery, or how is
Well,
that work?
we have some pre-mounted holes in here for audio root, but it doesn't cover all models.
Got it.
And so what we've been doing lately is we've been using a double-sided, sort of like Joe's sticky stuff, but a thinner version of it.
Yeah.
And we find that it is so strong that nothing moves. It's just, and so, so we've, right now, I don't know if this unit has, I know this unit for sure is, the distro on this side is held down by sticky tape.
Okay.
And now we're doing the sleds too, and then this is another option we sell.
That's a great, honestly, you guys are the ones that have figured out the DC to USB conversion.
It took some doing because so many of the DC to DC converters make noise. And so if you don't get a good one, you're going to have noise in your system. It's going to destroy your system.
And it's nice to have two there, and then also the Deity has the USB on the front, which is great.
Yeah, and so this gives us a little extra. You want to put a phone, charge your phone in there, or you want to connect your iPads and keep that thing leveled out. So it just gives you a nice system. Now, the other thing that that you can do with this system is put two battery sleds in. And if you're using the Deity, they've got two power inputs.
Yep.
So now you have a hot swappable system. So if you have what happens a lot of times on the larger unit, the next one up, people will put in a Scorpio in there, and then they're going to put an SL6 or something like that. They're going to have a bunch of receivers. They're going to need a lot more power.
Yeah.
And and it's going to run. So right now, this system will run all day long on one of these.
Yeah.
But once you get into such the
higher end, power hungry.
That's when you want to use two batteries, two sleds, have the hot swappable, and not only that, when you graduate even up further from, say, the Deity, the SPD1, you can go now to the new Trio audio root.
That's my favorite.
That's a really that is such a nice piece of distro. So with that, you now can have two batteries and shore power. And so you can easily move from cart to a port to a bag, and so it gives you such a great amount of versatility.
And I just want to point out one other thing, because I don't know that everybody can see this, but this, I'm coming in doing a live truck again, the battery mount, right, is going into your own proprietary cup, right? That is a Film Devices cup, and that's hard mounted in the bag. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, and so can you just show us how the battery comes out?
I will.
It's going to kill everything.
Oh, it's okay, we can kill everything.
Okay,
so we're going to pull the battery. Okay. And what's really great about our battery sled, it's hard mounted to our carbon fiber chassis, and it takes only one hand. Now, typically, if you are going to swap out a battery from a typical bag, you've got one hand on the battery cup and one hand holding it, so both hands are tied up.
Yep.
And so with this now, you just, and it goes, and you're powered up.
Perfect. And we see everything's coming back online.
Well,
power supply's back on, and then
well,
you
this one requires a little push.
A little extra.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, and so that gives us a great power distribution. And one of the things that I've always done in almost all my design work, I've been designing almost all my life.
Okay.
And I've always tried to create an ecosystem so that there's everything. It's like when I owned a photo studio, we had our black and white and color lab in the back. We had a 1-hour processor up front. We had our studio in the middle. We just had you could go from A to Z. So we could just basically give you your finished product.
Yeah, got it.
And so it's the same thing here. I've carried that kind of sensibility over. And to that effect, we also decided to, or I decided to, create a cables that are short.
Yeah.
So we've manufactured a bunch of different cables that are like 30, 40, and 50 centimeter power cables. We're tinkering with maybe audio cables a little bit into the future, short audio cables as well. But so it's a complete, so you can see we've gotten rid of the rat's nest.
Yeah, yep.
And so you can see how compact our wiring is just because we are running really specific lengths for what we need. So that's another part of our ecosystem.
And I will mention that, as part of Gotham Sound's service department, is we also do custom cables. So we do have, similar to your kind of thinking, we have people that want the, no rat's nest. They want to get away from the 18 inches. I can't do the conversion, I'm sorry. But yeah, we have people that will order a specific length. In inches or centimeters. Other people can do the conversion. But I do see the importance of it, and your cables are very popular.
Yeah, so plug this guy back in, and we'll kick this guy back up again. We'll pull our sled out.
From the middle, don't do it on the side, you're going to break it.
And you can see how nicely, between the kickstand, and it gives you a nice angle, then you can turn your light on and illuminate your pad. You could be in semi-darkness and get to see all your controls.
Fantastic.
Okay, and let me see. I'm going to look down my list real quick and see if I've hit on all the cylinders that I'm trying to hit.
Got it. So while you're doing that, I'm going to reply to some of the comments. So Almanacs, yes, the person in the background is actually me. I produced a short film a while ago, and they photoshopped a mustache onto me. I have since grown it, so that is me. It's from a film called, is it Fangirl? Fangirl. Fangirl was the movie. It premiered on ABC Family a long time ago. So if you're into that, yeah, there's an Easter egg for you. So Almanacs also asked, how do you envision using this with a harness? So it seems optimized more for cart or table use. So obviously there are mounting points here. Can more mounting points be added to the bottom? Because oftentimes, when you have a harness, you have the 2 clip-in points here, and then a minimum of 2 more clip-in points, down by your belt to kind of hold it and keep it from bouncing. Is that something that's possible? Well,
like I said, I like ecosystems.
Okay, very good.
And so we even designed our own harness. And it's not a fancy harness, but it's a very inexpensive harness, and it works really well on the small and medium. And so it retails for $75. It's a real inexpensive, but it's not super duper padded. It does the job. So what I'm going to do is address that question, because I wasn't thinking about it, even though it was on my list somewhere.
Okay.
But so we're going to talk about those mounting points that you talked about in the rear.
Yes, there's some Velcro for a mounting point. Yeah, I see it.
And on our bag, so our bag has the D rings.
Now let's move this down.
Okay, here we go.
So we can see it. Perfect, great.
Yeah, so it comes with 2 of these rings. So, so what's really cool about this system is that you can mount it with any harness. Actually, you can actually mount it, and actually when you put this in, and if you put a little bit of rubber here just to kind of give it a little protection. I would just put a little Velcro on the back and then make a little rubber pad. We haven't done that yet, but that's something anybody can fabricate. So it gives you a little, but what's cool about it is you can use this as a conventional bag. And I'm going to show you, I have a photo on my iPad. So what you can do is carry this around on your harness without the bag. You can use just like I said in the console, you can use it with the bag or without the bag. And so now you have access to all of your connections. And so, and not only that, what you never could do with a conventional bag is look at your clip-on radios.
Right.
This was the main reason I started with this, and this really holds its position. It's really strong. And so now you can see your front of your radios, you can see what they're doing, you can see all your controls, you can get to all your cables. It's really a game changer. I don't see how all those other bags can survive after this.
I mean, the other nice thing too, and you know, a lot of people are using Bluetooth control for their recorders. I know Zoom has a Bluetooth app, Sound Devices has a Bluetooth app, Zaxcom has the Nova Touch. So having a tablet or a device mounted on the top and being able to see that is really handy. I mean, when we were doing the NAB mixing this year, being able to look at the comments and look down on my phone in addition to being able to do that was really helpful. So I can definitely see that. And the other thing I want to point out is that with these mounting points, the Betso bow tie mounting points, theoretically you could have, if you wanted to use it in bag mode, you could also have multiple mounting points where, let's say, when it's in cart mode, it's back here. When it's in bag mode, it's up here, and just pop things back and forth as needed, which I think is pretty cool. So Ken, you've got something on the iPad you want to show us.
Yes, I had it on Wi-Fi. Now it's telling me I'm offline.
Okay, well, I'll work on that while you talk about the other accessories, because Anderson Rosado is from Brazil, is watching. Hi, Anderson, thank you. Are all the products made for this any sound cart, and specifically talking about the wheel supports? So that's a great question. Do you want to answer that one?
Are we speaking about the docking?
No, he's specifically talking about context. In another video at NAB, we talked about all the accessories you have for sound carts. You know, the handles, the hooks, the headphone thingamajig. So what Anderson wants to know is if the wheel supports will work with any sound cart. Well, so what are the requirements for those sound cart parts to work?
Well, we just happen to have the axle kit and the so these are the axles. They're stainless steel. They're really hefty.
Yep.
And you can see that we have a custom setup. This is for a T-mount, T-channel. Okay, and it works on 1 inch or 25 millimeter. So I designed it to go between imperial and metric. Okay, and so it's got a heavy stainless axle. It's got a nice retainer ring here. It comes with a couple of stainless washers, and the wheels are right here. The 16-inch wheels, and so this is the kit. So what's good about this is I designed all the parts on the handles and the wheels to be split. So you don't, any width cart that you have, this will work. And so just insert these into your channel, put your wheels on. Your cart can be a 19-inch rack style, or it can be a narrow cart, and then it'll work either way. The same thing with our handles. So
the short answer is yes, it is universally compatible as long as you have a cart that has a channel that will accept that particular size, which is available in both metric and British. What are we talking
Imperial
about?
And metric.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So yeah, the American version is Imperial.
Yeah.
Those imperialists, remember them?
So I hear.
Yes.
You know, fun fact: my family came over on the Mayflower, so I think I think we count as imperialists.
Okay. We might have a bad rap in different quarters.
I might. It's true. I already have a bad rap. All right. Anyway, so you were showing these.
This is the same thing with the handles. We designed them for split, so any width cart you have, you can install these, and once again they got the T mount. Just put it in your T slot, and you're good to go.
Cool. Great.
And so let's see if we can get did we get that iPad working?
The iPad is up. It looks like you're connected to cellular.
Okay, well, let's see.
If I do a close-up, maybe we'll get your password.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. We're here now, so we got it.
Great.
So let's go to, let's see. It's the rack and bag info. Okay.
There we go. Okay, so this photo is available on the Film Devices website. And I do have to say, like, one thing that's really nice about working with Film Devices is, you know, people want their bag to be as nice and as clean and as light as possible. And you guys do make customization really easy. And working with you is always a pleasure. You personally respond.
Yeah, most people love to see what their equipment is going to look like in their bag. And so as long as I am not swamped, and I've built up a little library of CAD drawings of all the different devices. And so if you want to see what it looks like ahead of time, I will send you a CAD with that particular rack and bag with your size. And you'll get to see what all the components are. And then you could say, hey, I'd like the power supply to be on the upper shelf or something like that. And I can swap it around. I can, to a certain degree, I can customize it for you. And there's no charge for that. And the other thing we can do is custom heights. So typically we sell 2 heights, standard and extended. And but if you need something that's something in between, a little bit taller, there's no charge. Just let us know what you need. And so so say you want to have a cart-based system that's not going to be held, and I want it. I'm going to stack it high with a bunch of receivers. You know, you can say, okay, we want this thing to be 12 inches tall. We'll build that for you.
16 411s, all the way up to your eyeballs.
Yeah, yeah. And then if you want, we even have extra tiers, so we can add more tiers to it. So we can definitely customize this out. We do sell the tiers, extra tiers by themselves. We sell the slide out by itself, so we can kind of create anything that you want. And I'm almost to the place where I wanted to be, which was a, let's see if I can find it. Okay. Are we getting, oh, we're almost there. Ah, there it is.
There we go. Oh, okay, so there's a picture of the harness.
So here's the picture. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that.
There it is.
Okay. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to orient myself. Everything's a little reversed.
Yep.
Okay, and now I'll go to the next one. Oops, I blew it.
Oh, no.
I blew it. I'm terrible. I'm just a bad guy.
Well, if you're looking for pictures, you can always go to the Film Devices website. You can always look on GothamSound.com.
Yes.
Instagram also has a lot of pictures, generally speaking. Facebook is also photo-based. Anyway.
Anyway, what you're looking at, let me make this brighter so we can really see it. What you're looking at here is my belly. and this is the rack and bag looking down from it without the outer shell. So you can see, as you can see, you can look right at your radios, you can see your iPad if it's on there. So you got full access to everything, wires, cables, everything is just right there, right where you need it. You know, I've probably told the story more than once, but the reason I designed this is that I was doing sound for a Shark Tank episode.
Okay.
And we had 4 lavs going, had 4 411As, old school stuff, inside of my big bag, and one of the power cables came out. And so we lost one of the lavs. And so we weren't live, thank God. And so I shut the set down for about 15 minutes while I tore through my bag to get that connection back working again, then reassemble the bag. And it was, I was extremely frustrated. I was humiliated. So, and you know, that's probably the nightmare scenario for any sound guy. And then that's right then and there I said, you know, this could be done better. And so that's the result. Let's see if we have one more. Oh, and here's that inexpensive harness that we sell. Okay, there it is, right there. Okay, and I advise people watching this that they should make their purchase through Gotham.
I appreciate that.
This is where you want to buy it. You're going to get this. You're going to get great service, and we'll back it up. Anything goes wrong, they'll just pass it back to us, and we'll fix it for you.
Well, we appreciate that.
And if you can tell Gotham what height you want, and we'll make it for them, and it'll get passed through to you.
I appreciate that. And the thing I should mention is that with your world tour, I mean, you guys are also opening up dealers all over the globe.
Yes.
Right? Didn't you say France and Germany and Sweden or Netherlands, or what was
we're in Paris, we're in Netherlands, we're in Finland, Ireland. I think we're also in Australia. So we're in Canada. We're kind of moving. This is our year for kind of moving out into the world. We've been really focused on developing the product, getting it right, and so now it's like a little bit more on the marketing, getting it out to everybody, and you know, been working on our patents. So we've got 4 patents.
Yeah, cool.
So it's been yeah, and let me tell you, getting patents is not easy.
I'm sure. Yeah,
it's a grind.
Time.
Yeah. So I think we were going to go into the.
Sure. Do you want to do that quickly, and then we can kind of do final thoughts?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Great. So let's see what else you brought here.
Okay.
Here we go.
So this is our boom pole. I'm going to loosen this up so we can spin it. Okay.
You can see Peter in the background mixing the sound and doing all sorts of other techie stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to loosen this up. Okay. So the other thing that happened was I was doing some documentaries where I was flying around, and I wanted to do sound. I had my little cameras with me, and I needed the compact boom system. And so I developed this one that fits in the carry-on. It weighs 1 pound, 6 ounces altogether. This is a Matthews mini grip head. Okay, the boom pole holders are our own design, and it'll hold a standard boom pole, and it's the lightest one you're going to find. And then we have these in carbon fiber and aluminum. These, they're folded about 21 inches, I think, and extended, they are 5.5 feet long.
The perfect interview pole.
It's perfect for a sit-down interview, and so you know you're not going to do a major thing with a whole bunch of people, but for doing a little traveling and or doing a local thing, I found that although I've got some K-Tech poles myself, that I reach for this one because it's so light and easy about 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's, there's 10% of the time I got a crowd, I got to reach over them, then I need a longer pole.
Yeah.
But for the most part, this suffices.
And that can clip right onto the bag and travel with you pretty easily.
It does. This one actually fits right on the bag. And what's really interesting about this little one is that this whole little kit is $200.
Okay.
And so there's nothing like it out there at that price point. And the aluminum version, I think, is $160.
Okay.
And I think that's it. For any final thoughts?
I think we're pretty good. So we do have another question, though. Is there any option available to attach a shielding surface to the frame to separate the transmitters on the rig from the receivers signal-wise? I don't know if you've come across that, but sometimes when you have your camera sends or IFB sends in UHF, they can mess with your receivers if they're also in UHF if they're too close. So is there an option to shield it?
We don't supply any shielding options. I know that there's shielding material, and it's flexible, looks like aluminum, and I think you might even be able to find adhesive ones. If not, and you can create your own shielding if you like. Yeah. But that's something that's a little bit beyond what we're doing. And it's probably a very rare occurrence. So it's nothing that is an everyday occurrence.
Well, and you have to be careful about shielding your talent RF from the actual talent itself, right? If you're wrapping your receivers, your talent receivers, you're potentially blocking all RF instead of just blocking your transmitters. So that has to do with transmitter antenna placement as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we are planning, one thing we are planning and working on right now is on our Betso mounts. We are looking at a tiny little carbon fiber pole.
To extend them up.
That sits on the back of them, and then it rolls up like that, and it goes up maybe 3 feet in addition. So you get about 36 inches height of your Betsos up, and I think you'll be able to spread them a little bit too. You'll be able to tilt it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's one of the ones that's in the works.
Yeah, because that certainly getting the height gives you better range if you can get it above all of those walking, talking bags of water.
Yeah.
People. All right, awesome. Well, Ken, anything that we missed? Anything you want to share?
I'll think of 20 things after I leave.
Perfect. Great. You can put them all in the comments. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Have a good bike back home. And how long is that going to take you to get?
It's a half hour. We're going to go over the 59th Street Bridge. We've been singing the Paul Simon's 59th Street Bridge song. Slow down, you move too fast.
Perfect, perfect. I gotcha. Okay, great. Well, look, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being here, even though you're off camera. But anyway, so, and thank you all so much for your comments and for watching. If you're watching this not live, again, put your comments in the bottom and we'll get back to them as soon as we can. You can purchase film devices, products, and more at gothamsound.com or email us at sales@gothamsound.com. As always, you can watch this video and more at gothamsound.tv. You can subscribe to YouTube and Facebook and X and Instagram and TikTok and God, who knows what else at this point. And as always, you can email us or call us, info@gothamsound.com for questions. And if you have ideas for live streams, please let us know. Thank you again so much for watching. And Ken, thank you so much for being here.
It's been a pleasure. And I have to say that of all the people I know that are dealers, Gotham definitely is like the most responsive and most friendly of the lot.
We're addicted to email. I can't help it.
Yeah, quick responses.
Very good. All right. Thank you again, and have a great day.
All right.